consider ourselves as Atma, with all the characteristics of the Atma, you should think that I possess all those characteristics. Think, I am changeless. Nothing can taint me. I am free. I am independent. I do not depend on any external factors. I have no wants. I have no needs. I am pure. I am purity. Thus, all the characteristics, we should feel that we are having all those characteristics and we are that Atma. You have to live as the Atman at the time when you are in meditation. It is not a question of thinking of Atman alone. Yes, in the initial stage it will be a thought, but in due course you should merge yourself with that Atman. You should become that soul. You should become that spirit, because you are not the body. So what you should think, look here, I think I went to the dining hall, I had my cup of tea. I think I have come back from the dining hall, I have now come to the shrine. No. I never go anywhere, I never come anywhere. I have no moments at all. It's my body, it's another thing. My body goes, my body comes, but it is not I the doer. I am not the doer. I never did this act of going, nor did I do this act of coming here. All these acts are all happening in the universal plan. There is one totality, there is one Paramatman, there is one Supreme Being who has planned everything. All these things have been recorded in the computer floppy. So they are all being enacted now. And as such, you have nothing to do with any of the actions which the body does. This has been told in Bhagavad Gita also. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva nusajjate. It is my various indriyas which are doing. I don't talk. It is my mouth which is talking. Because I cannot talk. I am the Atman. Atman never talks. Atman is always still. Atman is in eternal silence. Atman cannot talk. So, na agataha, aham na agataha, the one who came back just now after taking tea, it is not me, it is my body. So I didn't come, I have not come. The one who has come here, who has done the act of coming, it is not me. Similarly, the one who has now gone to the shrine, that act of coming to the shrine, it was not done by me. It is my body. So I have neither come nor have I gone. Na agataha. The one who came here, it is not me. Na aham. Agataha na aham. The one who came, it is not me. Gataha na aham. The one who went, it is not me. Further, api. Na agavishye. In future also I will never move. I am not going to go anywhere. Don't think that after the election is over, I will be leaving. Where can I leave? Atman cannot move. Name gatihi. Gatihi means movement. See, I am Atman, so I cannot go anywhere. I cannot do anything. I have no eyes. Everything is being done in the universal scheme of things by the totality, whom we may call the Supreme Being, whom we may call the Absolute Eternal. It is He who is doing. I am not doing anything at all. Thus we should think. Na bhuto na bhavishyami prakriti athira dharmani. You see, this world, it is an effect of Prakriti. This world has been created by Prakriti, which is a force. It's a power which has emanated from the Supreme Being. It is a part of the Supreme Being. By taking off a portion of his kinetic energy, which you may call as Prakriti, that Prakriti has created this entire world with all multiple varieties. So this world can be called as Prakriti. In Vedanta, the cause and the effect we consider as identical. The cause is always in the effect. The pot is an effect. The cause for the pot is clay. So at any time, every part of the pot, it consists of clay. So as such, if you say it's all clay, it is not wrong. Even though for your transactional purposes, you want to distinguish, this is a plate, this is a pot, this is a tumbler, but then ultimately if you go from the point of view of ultimate reality, what is real in it is the clay. Pot is only a form. The same clay can be made into a plate. It is another form. Actually it's all clay. So when you say Prakriti here, we mean this world which is made of Prakriti. And this Prakriti, what sort of characteristics it has got? Prakriti has always, it is constituted by three gunas. The Sattva Guna, the Rajo Guna and the Tamo Guna. Sattva Guna is the mode of love, light, harmony, amity, happiness. These are all qualities of Sattva Guna. And Rajo Guna is action, activity, dynamism. I want to do this, I want to do that. Always be engaged in some enterprises, some undertakings. And in the process of it, you will have anger, you will have greed, you will have avarice, you will have desires. So all these things are the effect of Rajo Guna. Tamo Guna is inertia, laziness, procrastination, postponing doing things. So all these are these effects. These three are the constituents of Prakriti. So when Prakriti has made the world, this entire world is made up of three gunas. And it is not a fixed percentage. The percentage may vary from time to time. Don't think that I am always in Sattva Guna. Suddenly when somebody comes and insults me, I may just fly to a temper and beat him also. Then my Rajo Guna has become predominant. Normally I may be a man of Sattva Guna, but at that time, suddenly my Rajo Guna has come into the fore. Or I may be okay, maybe coming giving lectures another one day. I will plead my inability and say I don't feel all right, like I feel indisposed. I will go and I will sleep for 10 hours, 12 hours. So that means Tamo Guna has become predominant on that day. So for the same person at various times in the same day, the various gunas will be predominant. Like. Not necessarily that only one guna will be there. It is likely. So the dharma of this world, the characteristics of the world, it is not one. It is not changeless. It changes from time to time. It is not firm. It is asthira. Asthira means that which moves from time to time. This entire world looks excellent, beautiful on one day. Another day you come here, oh, just significantly, there is so much of heat. The month of May, you will see, oh, there is so much of heat, I am unable to stand this climate of Tiruvannamalai. I think I should go back home. So it is because a different guna has taken over in this atmosphere too. So in this world, whose characteristics are always changing, I am changeless. So the question of my being born in this world or the question of my dying in this world, none of these things arise. Prakriti asthira dharmani. In this world which is made up of Prakriti, which is constituted with changing characteristics, which changes from moment to moment. In this world, I was never born, I will never die. I am the Atman, I am the immortal. The question of bhutaha bhavishyati. Bhutaha always means to become, to be born. So, in this world, na bhutaha, I was never born. Na bhavishyami, I will never be born. The question doesn't arise. I am mukta, I am always free, I am independent, and I am changeless. No change can ever come to me. How is it possible that I will be there? Because I am the substratum for this world. This entire world, all these changes are taking place on me. The entire cinema in those days, in the cinema theatre, wherever you seeing all the pictures are all being seen on a firm curtain. There was a curtain which never moved. But when they were focusing the light, the projector, the various moving things were coming, they were all moving. You cannot see movement unless the base, the substratum is changeless. If that also moves, and if this also moves, you cannot see the change. If two trains are running in side-by-side track with the same speed and the same velocity, you will think that your train is not moving, it is static. Because they call it the relative velocity, the relative velocity becomes zero. So, it is the substratum is the Atman, it is changeless, in that only the Prakriti is there. The Prakriti is a hand which is playing in the vastness of the Supreme Being. The Supreme Being, it is not dependent on the Prakriti, it is not born in the Prakriti, it is the Prakriti which is born from the Supreme Being. We come to the next. Prakrita nitu karmani prakriti karma sambhavam nakam kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavit. This is expanding the same idea which came in the previous one, that I do not do any action, I am not the doer is Prakriti. The Prakriti is doing because of its gunas, and the Prakriti's creation is the entire world, including my body, including my senses, they were all created by Prakriti. So, it is these creatures of Prakriti who are doing the various things according to the plan of the Supreme Being, and I don't do anything. The same idea comes here. Prakrita nitu karmani. You see, all the karmas, all the actions, they emanate from Prakriti. Why do we do actions? Because we have got the various gunas. If I got a lot of Rajo guna, what I will do? I will say I am going to start a hospital, I am going to start a dispensary, I am going to start a school, I am going to start a study circle. So all these actions have emanated because I got Rajo guna. Or I go on lecturing on Vedanta in various places, it is because of Sattva Guna. When the Sattva Guna is predominant, I will be reading scriptures, I will be reading texts relating to spirituality, I will be talking about it, I will be lecturing about it. When Tamo Guna is there, then I will be going on sleeping, I will be postponing things. So, the sleep is an action. So why the sleep has come? Because I got Tamo Guna. So all actions, they are all emanating from one or the other of the various gunas which belong to Prakriti. Prakritani means that which belongs to Prakriti, that is the various gunas actually. Prakriti and the gunas are identical because the Prakriti is made up of these three gunas only. So Prakritani tu karmani, all the actions emanate from nature, from Prakriti. Then, Prakritihi karma sambhava. Again, because we have done some actions, some good actions, some bad actions, so naturally you have to reap their fruits. If you have done some bad action, you have to get punished in the next birth. And if you have done some good actions, some actions of charity, some actions of installing a charitable health hospital life, then you have to be born in order to reap the fruits. You may get in the next birth, you may be born as the son of a king or the son of a very rich man, a millionaire. All these things will happen as a result. That is why another birth has come. So, because of actions, again you are coming into the world. And all these gunas are again catching you. Again you are going to do actions. So it is a vicious circle. Actions come out of the Prakriti, out of the world. And the world comes out of your action. Otherwise you need not come to this world at all. Because you have done some good actions, some bad actions with various motives, in order to reap the fruits, again you have to take birth. So Prakriti comes from the actions, and actions are generated by Prakriti. So this mutual vicious circle we go on endlessly unless we get self-knowledge, and thus dispel all these delusions once for all. Prakritani tu karmani. Karmani, all the activities. Prakritani tu. They are after all generated from the world, from Prakriti, from the various gunas of which the world is made. Prakritihi karma sambhava. Again, when once you have done some action, from the action, again the world comes back to you. Another birth. Again you are in the world. Then again you do some actions. Again you die, and again you come back to the world. So, this Prakriti is a result of the actions. So, how to get out of this? This is an endless vicious circle going on, birth, death, birth, death. How to get out of it? The only way is, do not ascribe, do not attribute the doership to your own self. You are only a witness. Atman is only consciousness. So you are conscious. You are conscious of your feet taking you to the dining hall. You are conscious of your hand contacting the plate, taking the idlis and putting it in the mouth. And you are conscious of the gullet, catapulting it inside the stomach. But all these things were not done by you. They were all done by the handicraft of Prakriti. This body was created by Prakriti. This body is part of the world. Whatever you see, it is part of the world. So it is not only the other's body which is in the world, my body is also in the world. It is part of Prakriti. So, Naham kinchit karomi iti. I don't do anything. I am not the doer at all. I am the watcher on the hill. I only watch. I am a witness. Naham kinchit karomi. Na kinchit, nothing. Na karomi, nothing I do. I do nothing. I am not a doer at all. Everything is happening in the universal scheme of things. The totality has already planned and programmed what is to happen. Every second of your life has already been computerized. And that is now unrolling itself into a drama. So one is your drama, one is my drama, another is his drama, another is his. So at the same time, just like a juggler who is juggling with 20 balls at the same time, the Supreme Being, the Cosmic Being, she is playing with the several dramas. I won't say he's playing with the lives because there is no real life, it is only an acting. And the actor is he only. He has not brought any outsider to act. There is nobody other than the Brahman. Where is the outsider? Iti yuktaha tattvavit manyate. Tattvavit, a man who knows the reality. Such a person, manyata, he will think, he will consider. What will he consider? That I am not the doer. I don't do anything at all. When will he do it? Yuktaha. When once he is completely engaged in his yoga. Yuktaha is a past participle of the word yoga. So the man who is practicing this type of meditation, when once he comes through the reality, he will always say that I am not the doer. When you say I am not the doer, when you disclaim your responsibility for all the actions that take place by your own body, then it is not for any action to catch you. Every action you do, the moment there is a motive behind it, the moment you think I am doing it, whether it is good or bad, it is going to catch you, it is going to cause you another birth. The moment you disclaim all responsibility, you say, I am only watching, you may even murder a person, the sin will never accrue to you. But a man who is at that stage of non-beership, a man whose aham has gone, his ego has gone, he will never have any anger, he will never have any enmity, he will never commit a murder. You take it for granted. It's only a theoretical or a hypothetical case I told. Such a contingency can never arise with the Jivan Mukta. Then we go to the next. Nayeva prakati bandhosti mukta yitya vidhiyate nachayeva prakrite doshaihi lipyate dukadachana. He says, people say that I am mukta, I am free, I am independent, I am liberated. Because nayeva prakriti bandha. I am not being bound by the world. The world cannot have any reaction from me. The world may beat me. The world may abuse me. The world may garland me. The world may put me on a palanquin and take me around the world on a trip. But absolutely no reaction. Nothing matters. If you praise me, it is as good as abusing me. Nothing is going to affect me at all. No reactions to the world. If you react, it is going to cause you trouble later. You are subject to birth and death. You remain absolute without any reaction. You have nothing to do with anything external. No external factor can ever entice you, can never tempt you to reactions. No reactions at all. That is the stage. So, nayeva prakriti bandhosti. I am not bound by the world at all, because I know that everything is being done by the universal scheme of things. And I know that what all is there, it is all another version of the same Brahman. The tree is not a tree, it is all full consciousness. And the leaf is not a leaf, it is all full consciousness. He is not Mr. Venkataraman, he is the same consciousness as myself. He is myself. So when there is nobody but myself, the question of any bondage from the world, anything tempting me doesn't arise. Once I know that I am the Atman, I am the creator. I can create with my mind lakhs and lakhs of objects, more beautiful than whatever has already been created. So why should I bother? Why should I want? Why should I need? So it is the need, it is the desire which binds you. And I am without any desires. So nayeva prakriti bandhosti. Bandha means bondage. So I am not bound by the world. I am not bound by prakriti. Muktayit abhidiyate. I am being called as mukta, as liberated. He doesn't say I am mukta. He says people call me as liberated. Why? Why this difference? Why don't you think you are liberated? The question is, he is aware that he was never bound at all. The question of being liberated doesn't arise. So the world thinks that this fellow was born because he was bound one day, and now he is liberated because he did a lot of austerities. He was in eternal silence for a long time. He went and sat under a tree and he was doing austerities for a number of years at Arunachala. So you say now, oh, he is a liberated one. He is an enlightened soul. So it is the others who call him enlightened. As far as he is concerned, he was never an ajnani, he was never in ignorance. The entire thing was a delusion, is being born, is dying, all these things were delusions. He is aware of the delusion, he has always been free. He was never bound at all. The question of a liberation doesn't arise. As far as he is concerned, he is Nitya Mukta. He has always been liberated because he was never bound. But for the people who see, they think that he was bound one day and he has been now released. That is why he says, it is the people who call me as Mukta. I will not call myself as Mukta because I was never bound. I have always been free. Why the question of being liberated now? Nachayeva prakritaihi doshaihi lipyate tu kadachana. The defects, the faults which accrue to worldly objects, none of them can taint me. None of them can stick to me. Even though with the body I happen to, it looks as if I am in this world, but I am beyond all the gunas. I am gunatita. I have transcended all the three gunas which make the prakriti. So what are all the faults of the prakriti? Prakriti has got only three faults. Whether you adopt his sattva guna, then also it's a fault. Because a man who has got only sattva guna, he'll do either of the two things. He will be a bookworm, he'll be going on reading shastras after shastras, scriptures are written, oh, very nice, Shankara has written extremely well, oh, the talks of Ramana Maharshi, I simply love it, I have read it 100 times. But he will never put into practice it. It is just like a man who has been reading page to page and getting by heart how to swim, but who never goes to the river banks. So what is the use? So this Sattva Guna makes him a slave to scriptures, to books of spirituality, but he seldom tries to put it into practice fully. And to be attached to the books, to the scriptures throughout life, it is considered as one part. It is called the Shastra Vasana. It is equally bad. Many of the people who got enlightenment, they had not studied anything. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa never studied the Yoga Vasishta, but they could expound on those texts very beautifully. Bhagavan Ramana, he was after all a 16-year-old boy, 17-year-old boy when he came here. And how much he had studied? Did he study Yoga Vasishta? Did he study Vivek Chudamani? Did he study this Atma Sakshatkara in those days? All these things, he was, as a hobby, he was reading only after he attained his enlightenment, not earlier. So, but all this, whatever came out of their mouth, it tallied with the scriptures, word by word. So, Nayeva prakritaihi doshaihi lipyate tu kadachana. Na kadachana, never. Lipyate, they are being tainted. So I am not being tainted by prakritaihi doshaihi. Doshaihi means the faults, the defects of the world. Prakritihi, of Prakriti. Prakriti and world are one and the same. Then next. Nirnashya tamaso rupam diko yadvat prakashate abhatyevam parokhyatma jatvaiva jnanajam tamaha. Now, he is trying to describe the stage when, by the constant meditation of the Atman, your ignorance is removed. How is that ignorance removed? He says, it is just like a lamp. A lamp, the moment you kindle that wick, then what happens? The entire ignorance which was veiling all the place, it just disappears in no time. Not even progressively, simultaneous with the shining of the light, the entire darkness disappears. Tamasaha rupam nirnashya yadvat deepaha prakashate. Yadvat just like deepaha prakashate, a lamp shines with its light. How? Nirnashya, after having destroyed, nasha, nirnashya. Nirnashya, after having destroyed, tamasaha rupam, the entire form of darkness which was enveloping all the places, in the entire room, this one lamp, once it begins to shine, the entire darkness is dispelled. In the same way, what happens is, by the continuous contemplation of the Atman, that very contemplation that creates an explosive effect suddenly. It gathers so much potency. Every day meditating for hours together, it gets so powerful, it becomes just like a hydrogen bomb or an atomic bomb. So it gets the power of explosion. So a moment comes when it gets the full power, then it explodes. It explodes away the entire ignorance. So, Tektva agna ajnanajam tamaha. Tamaha is the darkness. You have not been able to see. You are seeing something. Yeah, I am seeing the grandchildren, I am seeing the children, I am seeing my debentures, I am seeing my shares, but I never see the Brahman. This is because of the darkness of ignorance which has been enveloping. What is the ignorance? The ignorance is, I do not know who I am. And that is what has caused all the problems. That is why I get attached to the various people, because I do not know that there is no other people, there is no other thing to which I have to get attached. They are all my own forms. They are only shining in various forms for the other people. It is only a delusion. It is a magic. In reality, it is all Brahman. So a man whose this darkness has been exploded, he is able to see the reality that everything is one, there is nothing apart from him. The entire world is not apart from his self. Every object in the world is his own self. Then whom he has to favor, whom he has to love, whom he has to hate, and with whom he has to be hostile, the question doesn't arise. So, Tektva eva ajnanajam tamaha. By that contemplation, the entire this thing is removed. Tektva, by leaving, by abandoning, by exploding away. By exploding away, tamaha, the darkness. Where from the darkness has come? From your ignorance as to who you are. Ajnanajam tamaha. Because of your ignorance, all these problems have arisen. You become jealous of somebody. You fight with somebody because you think he is different from you. If only you know that he is only your own extension, your own projection, your own shadow, will anybody fight with your shadows? No. So ajnanajam tamaha. Ajnanajam, that which has generated from ignorance. This darkness which has been generated from the ignorance. After leaving it, Paraha Atma eva abhati. Paraha Atma, that supreme being, that is what is called the Paramatma. Paraha means the transcendental Atman, the Atman whom you cannot see with your gross eyes, the Atman whom you cannot understand with your mind, the Atman whom you cannot describe with your gross mouth or your tongue. So the one who has transcended all these things, the one whom you can see only by becoming one with him, by merging with him, and which you can accomplish only by continuous contemplation for hours together for number of years. Then only it can come. Then this Paramatma, the Supreme Being, Abhati, he shines with all his effulgence. Then the Atman alone is there. You come face to face with it. But what is meant by coming face to face? You immolate himself in that effulgence of Atman. Then you are not separate. The Atman is not separate. You cannot see him. You become the Atman himself. That will be the stage. That he is going to say in the next one. There is a next stage. In this stage, he only sees that Atman is there burning. The entire thing happens in a trice, in a moment. There is no interval between his seeing the Atman entering and merging with it. The moment he sees, he is merged, already there. But he is telling it as different processes. So in this process, he has come face to face with the Atman. The next stage is entering into the Atman and merging with him. There is nothing called the entering. The moment you see you are burnt, you become one with him, that's all. There is no more any Shantananda will be remaining. All the individual souls, anything who has been in his ego thinking that I am different, I am a separate one, it goes. You are under the wings of the universal. You are merged under the wings. You are not separate. That portion he is explaining. Sneha kshayat yatha deepaha balan nirvana vrikshati tatha atma bhavana yuktaha swatman eva vasishthate. Sneha kshayat yatha deepaha. Sneha has got two meanings. Sneha means love, affection, camaraderie. But here, sneha means oil. Oil is called sneha because what do you mean by friendship? Sticking towards each other. So this oil sticks to you. That is why both have got the same word. Sneha means here oil. Sneha kshayat yatha deepaha. Supposing there is a lamp burning. See, in the olden days, as you will see here also, we were using only oil lamps. We put some oil, there is a wick. So long as the oil is there, the wick will be burning. The moment the oil is exhausted, the wick will also burn itself completely, and then there will be only extinction, nirvana. Nirvana means extinction. The extinction of the fire, extinction of the light, they are all called nirvana. As well as when the extinction of the individuality, the individual soul, and then getting liberation, that is also called nirvana. Yatha deepaha, just like a lamp, sneha kshayat, on the oil being exhausted. Kshaya means exhaustion, reduction. So, when the oil has been exhausted and completed, sneha kshaya, balati nirvanam richati. Richati means it attains extinction, it gets extinguished. Bala, forcibly. Even if it wants, it can't remain a minute longer. The moment the oil is over, the wick will burn itself, that's all, and the entire lamp will get extinguished. There will be no more light. In the same way, tatha, in the same way, likewise, Atma bhavana yuktaha. So far he has been given you how to think that I am that. So, as I said, there are two methods of the soul. In one method, you become that from the very beginning itself, you remain as the Atma. When you remain as the Atma, all the thoughts, when they cease, then only you can remain as the Atma. So when all the thoughts cease, and when you remain as the Atman, there cannot also be a thought of the Atma. So the another process is, when you say Soham, then you are unable to concentrate on the point simply saying that I am the Atman, I am the Atman, I am the Atman. No. So you try to move in and around a big circle with a big radius around that Atman. That means you just go on recollecting what are all the characteristics of the Atma. There are no characteristics known, no characteristics can be described, but you can describe all the non-characteristics. In this sense, what it is not, you can describe easily. You can just think, well, it cannot be tainted, nothing can stick to it, because the worldly things, they get tainted. If you keep something along with some asafetoda, after a little while, it gathers the smell of that asafetoda. It happens so. But here is one who gets not at all niranjana, nirlepa. That is, he is not tainted by anything. He is always tranquil. Nothing can agitate him. No reactions. So like that, all are only the non-attributes. They are all actually the attributes of the non-self. All the items of the world, they have got these characteristics. Being perturbed, being agitated, reacting immediately for any reason whatsoever. Somebody has insulted me, immediately I slap him. So the reaction comes. These are all only for non-self. But self, it is just the opposite of it. So we describe all the non-characteristics of the Atman by which only you can remember. This is called Atma Bhavana. Bhavana means thoughts. So Atma Bhavana Yuktaha means being united continuously, incessantly with the thoughts of the Atman by remembering all its non-attributes. Because that's the only way in which you can describe it, that is the only way you can remember it. So Atma Bhavana Yuktaha. Go on remembering the Atman, go on remembering the self. The self is not connected with anything. The self alone is there. The self has no son, the self has no wife, the self has no house, the self doesn't possess anything. There is no property, there is no world. I am the world. I am everything. Everything is my creation. I can create lakhs of things more like this. I can create lakhs of universes if I want. So that sort of a bhavana, that is the thought. Atma bhavana yuktaha. Then a stage comes when these thoughts get exhausted, because you are going on thinking of one only the Atma. Even though you are thinking of various attributes, the entire thing is about a point, but within a fixed radius of it. You are thinking only about Atman, you are not thinking of any worldly object. So, by going on thinking, a day will come when it blows itself off. It is just like a suicide squad, they call it. They go with a bomb, they go to somebody else whom they want to kill, and they go and forcibly fall on them, both will go to eternity. The bomb immediately it strikes at both of them. Both of them become the victims of the bomb, of the explosion. So in the same way, it goes and hits against the ajnana, against ignorance. The ignorance disappears. You are kept alive in this world only through ajnana, through ignorance. The entire ego was being fed only through ignorance. When once this ignorance is lost, the ego, individuality, the individual soul, everything goes. That which always was, that supreme being, that cosmic being, the eternal existence, that alone exists. So, Atma Bhavana Yuktaha, the one who is contemplating in the Atman, finally what happens? Swatman eva vasishtate. All the thoughts go. Already he has said, the ajnana jankama, the previous one, the darkness has already gone, the ignorance is gone. Now he remains as Atman. He remains in the Atman, he remains as Atman. To remain in Atman means to remain as Atman only. He remains 100%, he gets merged in that Supreme Being. Now, we come to the next. Ghata samputam akasham niyamani yatha ghaten ghato niyetanakasham tattva jivana bhopamaham. This we will see in the next class. Vedic time is up.